we are looking at the ultimate mythic clash of our era. Seriously, football's greatest rivalry might actually be approaching its absolute final act. Today, we're diving into Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and the monumental possibility that the 2026 World Cup is going to be their last dance. In this explainer, we'll break down their legacy, their team dynamics, and something entirely unique, a DOMS-NUMS life graph and number profile analysis to see who mathematically holds the ultimate destiny advantage heading into 2026. So, let's talk about timing, right? By the time the 2026 World Cup kicks off, Lionel Messi is going to be 39 years old, and Cristiano Ronaldo will be 41. If Ronaldo actually steps onto that pitch, he's set to become the first male player to ever appear in 6 different World Cup tournaments. I mean, that is just an insane potential milestone. But here's the real question. Are they going there just to participate, or does the universe have one last legendary chapter in store for us?
2 destinies, 1 final act. To really get how cinematic this potential final clash is, we need to look at their incredibly contrasting origin stories. We're talking about 2 men who honestly couldn't be more different in how they were forged.
First up, Lionel Messi. Born in Rosario, having to overcome a childhood growth hormone challenge just to make it across the Atlantic and join Barcelona's La Masia Academy. He's this player forged through pure, natural genius, ultimately conquering his longtime national team struggles with that 2021 Copa America win and, of course, the spectacular 2022 World Cup triumph. Contrast that with Cristiano Ronaldo. Born in Madeira into a humble upbringing, his education really came from the streets and the dressing room of Sporting Lisbon. He is the ultimate self-made athlete. He's got this relentless will that propelled him to Manchester United, Real Madrid, and straight into the history books.
And all of this brilliantly highlights this massive theme of destiny that just surrounds both of these guys. Listen to this quote from Messi after his World Cup win. He said, "God gave me much more than I ever imagined. Everything came at the right moment." Their careers don't just feel like a series of athletic achievements, they feel almost preordained. So how exactly can we measure that kind of destiny?
Number profiles, fire versus metal. Let's dive right into this esoteric data using the DOMS-NUMS analytical framework. We're going to pull back the curtain a bit on the hidden energies and elements that have driven their phenomenal success.
What's absolutely fascinating here is how perfectly these numbers align with their real-world personas. It literally sets up this symbolic battle. You've got Ronaldo's explosive fire up against Messi's unyielding metal. See, Messi operates with a core character of 371 on a life path 1 anchored by the metal element. Meanwhile, Ronaldo is a core 753 on a life path 3 fueled by the fire element. Let's break down exactly what that looks like out on the pitch.
So Ronaldo's core 753 and fire element manifests as this intensely aggressive, action-oriented drive. The DOMS-NUMS profile actually points out his stubbornness and just a massive, aggressive desire for achievement. As his biographers note, he is a deadly finisher, basically an assassin in front of goal. And that fire leadership, it's loud, it's expressive, and it demands attention. He wants to be the absolute focal point of every single attack, using that immense competitive fire to just obliterate any obstacle in his way.
Now contrast all of that with Messi's metal energy. The profile highlights a pioneer mentality and a quiet intelligence. Metal leadership is interesting because it ages incredibly well. It's very self-reliant and innovative. But, okay, perhaps the absolute most fascinating hidden pattern in Messi's profile is that he carries the energy of guardian angels. Seriously, the analysis explicitly states he always seems to have a lucky charm or some invisible force protecting him. Just think about how many times you've seen Messi miraculously slip through a giant wall of defenders. Yeah, that is exactly that metal energy at work.
Life graphs, peaks and valleys. Let's transition from their baseline profiles to track their momentum over time, and let's see just how deeply these numbers mirror their actual historical careers. According to Ronaldo's life graph, he's categorized as an early bloomer. Notice how he hits this massive peak energy of 9, exactly at age 19, back in the year 2004. Guys, this is no coincidence. This is the exact moment he exploded onto the scene at Manchester United, putting on a man-of-the-match performance on his debut, and totally solidifying his place with the Portugal national team. The math is perfectly mirroring his real-world milestones. And the numbers show him plateauing at that incredible peak of 9, carrying all the way over to age 29, which was 2014. And what happened then? Well, Ronaldo was in the absolute terrifying prime of his Champions League and Ballon d'Or dominance with Real Madrid. His life graph essentially maps his physical peak straight to his greatest statistical achievements.
Now switching over to Messi's life graph. While he's also an early bloomer, his momentum looks very different. Since 1987, his numbers climb with this sustained, rising momentum. It's just consecutive cycles building without interruption. That is highly uncommon. And get this, his life graph peaks at an energy level of 8, arriving exactly at age 38. That is the year 2025.
When we synthesize their timelines, it shows us exactly how their historical trophies map to the DOMS-NUMS framework. Ronaldo utilized his early peaks to build an absolutely insurmountable legacy. Messi, on the other hand, has been on this sustained, unstoppable climb, hitting the 2022 World Cup right before entering the absolute highest energy cycle of his entire life.
The 2026 Destiny window. This brings us right to the immediate future. If both men play, who mathematically holds the momentum advantage entering this tournament cycle?
Breaking down the numbers for 2026, it looks like this. Messi is riding the wave of his ultimate peak cycle at age 38, which holds steady before a natural release. Ronaldo, on the flip side, actually crossed his soul line and entered a falling momentum cycle starting at age 36 back in 2021. So according to the DOMS-NUMS map, Ronaldo is currently fighting gravity, while Messi is basically surfing a pure destiny climax.
Which really makes us stop and ask, what matters more at a final World Cup? Are you going to bet on Ronaldo's relentless, stubborn will and the raw historical weight of a record 6 World Cup appearance? Or do you bet on Messi's undeniable mathematical momentum and that Madeline element energy that, historically, just ages so much better late in life?
National team destiny support. Of course, neither of these men plays in a vacuum, so let's shift our focus to the environments actually supporting them, Argentina and Portugal.
Right now, Argentina honestly provides the ultimate support system for Messi. They are the 2021 Copa America winners and your defending 2022 World Cup champions. The team chemistry there is practically flawless, and it's completely built around supporting and protecting Messi's transformed, quiet metal leadership vibration. They fight for him, which frees him up to just be the tactical genius he is.
Portugal, though, is an entirely different beast. They won the 2016 Euros, and they currently boast a deeply talented squad. They absolutely have the pieces to facilitate Ronaldo's historic 6 World Cup run. But the big question here is whether the team chemistry aligns perfectly with his fire energy at this late stage in his career, or if his desire to be the absolute focal point might cause some friction with the younger generation of rising stars.
The final verdicts. Okay, let's bring all of this together. The esoteric data, the historical context, the team dynamics, and deliver the final probabilities for 2026.
Methodically presenting the verdicts here. First, the stronger number profile entering 2026 definitely goes to Messi. Metal simply ages better than explosive fire. Second, the stronger life graph clearly belongs to Messi as well, hitting his ultimate peak of 8 right before the tournament. And third, the stronger national team currently leans toward Argentina, as they're the defending champs with a system perfectly calibrated to their star player.
But what about the greater chance of creating a legendary World Cup moment? Well, while the DOMS-NUMS framework heavily favors Messi's momentum, you can never, and I mean never, make absolute predictions when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo. His entire career is built on defying gravity and weaponizing that fire element whenever people doubt him. So both absolutely hold immense probability.
And this leaves us with a truly cinematic reality. One was forged through natural genius. One was forged through relentless will. One carries the energy of metal. One carries the energy of fire. 2 legends, 2 destinies, 1 final World Cup. And perhaps, just perhaps, one last opportunity to write the final chapter in football's greatest rivalry. So my question to you is, when the whistle blows in 2026, will it be fire or metal that burns brightest on the grandest stage of them all?